What would you say that the lunch counter really represented? Because when I think about food, food can be the greatest act of resistance. It can be, as we discussed, it can be an oppression. The lunch counter itself, when you think about it, what does it represent, and what does it sit in? What did the sit-ins help do to change that?
Well, to go back a little bit farther, there were restrictions on people eating together, and I'm sure that you know about that. And for example, Myers department store had what they called a tea room. And the tea room was upstairs, and it catered to ladies who would come in and buy expensive outfits and have tea. And the tea room was segregated. Well, my Aunt Willa, who was a college president, and anybody who ever knew her will tell you, the most elegant dresser that you can imagine, right? She ordered her clothes from New York. She had a buyer who went to New York and would pick out things for her, partly because of a place like Montaldo's that would not welcome her, right? So she had this buyer, and she was very much aware that the tea room was segregated. So when all this broke open and things started, she wrote a letter to Myers and said, I will be closing my account with you. She had a credit card for Myers. I will be closing my account with you until such time as you open your tea room. So, yeah. Food then was a status thing, okay? So if you couldn't sit down with a friend who might have had on a dress that cost whatever and looked like a fashion plate, and you somehow weren't good enough to drink this tea in a Myers tea room, this is food as a standard of acceptability there. And there were places all over the city where this was not acceptable. It was not acceptable to eat with black people in the same space. So I think the sit-ins represented a lot of levels of lack of respect, and that's why I say the hot dogs were nasty, because if I wasn't good enough to eat one of those low-grade sausages at a lunch counter, what was that saying to me? It was the message of, oops, is that right? You're degrading my space. You're here, you're not good enough to eat with me. You're not good enough to break bread with me. So it's a lack of respect, it's a lack of regard, it's a lack of recognizing my humanity, because breaking bread with someone is so basic to our humanity. That's what we do when we're trying to make peace. And so it represents not only political justice, but also that you see me as a fellow human being. It's that important.